Do you like anime? Do you like Japan? Get in line. People always ask me if I think if they should move to Japan. I don't know you personally, so I can't answer the question, okay? But what I can do is tell you about people who may not have the best time in Japan. Honestly, this is a bit of a negative video compared to usual. Allison, do you not like Japan? Allison, why are you telling people negative things? Look, just go to the rest of my channel and 90+% of the videos are very positive. I love living in Japan. I like Japan. Great, okay? But sometimes we must have a critical discussion, a one-way discussion, because it's just me talking to you. Now I have a list on my phone, okay? So we're gonna go over the types of people who I think maybe either shouldn't move to Japan or should like kind of think a bit more deeply about it. I don't want to ever outright say like, no, you shouldn't do something, okay? If you're new here, I've been living in Japan for over 6 years now. I know. And I spent many years stalking the Japan Life Reddit when I was a teacher and had nothing better to do. So let's go. First, you probably already guessed it, but people who only want to move to Japan because they like anime. Look, if you ask at least 50% of foreigners like me who live here, their honest answer would be that they moved to Japan basically because of anime. But the difference is if like anime is either your only reason or if anime served as like your starting off point, right? Because like, yes, I only developed an interest in Japan basically because of anime, but it's not like I moved here just because I like watching Naruto, right? Right? From that interest, I started to, you know, research more about Japan. I started watching YouTube videos like this one, haha. And stuff like that. Now look, a lot of people, especially if you haven't moved to Japan, I thought this way too when I first moved here. I did not want to tell people I moved to Japan because I liked anime, because I thought it was like kind of cringe or like embarrassing. It's not. You just gotta own it. And also, like most Japanese people I meet expect that to be my answer, like that I liked anime, and that's why I ended up moving here. So it's actually fine. Don't worry. You don't need to give the answer that we've all given that, oh yeah, I moved to Japan because I like the culture. What culture? Next, similarly, people who think Japan would be just like it was in anime or on vacation. Big one right here. If you've been to Japan before and you think, oh my God, I love this country, it's so fun. You've been to Japan a few times maybe, you love exploring Tokyo, awesome. However, it's not like that, unfortunately. It is like that, but if you're moving here, you probably have to have a job. I don't know your situation, but you're either gonna be a student or you're gonna be working probably. So that means you're working 40 hours a week, 40+ hours a week in a foreign country now. It's just like back home. You go to work, you go home at night, and you have the weekend to either lay around or maybe you go out. It's just like that. Working here can be very, very hard, especially depending on what country you're coming from. The work culture here is very different and it drives a lot of people away. That's how it is. It's not gonna be like it is on your vacation. There is a very famous saying, Japan is a great country to visit, not a great country to live in, or rather work in. I think it's actually pretty good to live in strictly if you don't have to work. But unfortunately we must. Next, people who don't want to learn new rules. Whatever country you're coming from, Japan's gonna have new rules you're gonna have to learn. It's actually kind of like this if you move to any foreign country, but people just don't think about it. In Japan especially, loves rules. Loves rules. I can't overstate this. And it's not just rules, it's also like just tradition, culture, you know, customs, a mix of things. But like basically if you're the type of person who does not like being told what to do and gets really annoyed if someone says, no, you can't do this, you should not be talking on the train in your outside voice, maybe this isn't the country for you. This is a very rule following society, which is why on a very similar note, but different, is people who are not willing to follow rules. So many people, oh my God, online especially, I see complaining about this list of rules they have to follow and they don't understand why. Look, I don't know why. Why do we do anything? It's not about why, because you're the, you know, outsider in this instance, visiting / living in this foreign country. So please conform, at least to a degree. I'm not saying you need to be Japanese, but there is something called respect, basically. And if you don't respect the rules, then this isn't it. 5. Should I say this? Okay, don't cancel me. People who move to Japan looking for a spouse, especially men looking for a subservient Japanese housewife I'm just being honest. I have seen many men online, and I've talked to, unfortunately, many men like this in real life who have straight up said they only moved to Japan because they want to get married to a Japanese woman. There's women who also want to get married to Japanese men, but the men looking for wives is much more prevalent. Don't, please. Japanese women are not a stereotype, and that's kind of gross. Sorry, I had to say it. I had to say it. Honestly, these next ones that I'm about to say are just very kind of real. I'm sorry, I usually don't talk like this on this channel. I am a nice person, but I'm gonna be real, okay? Next, people who expect Japan to fix all their problems. This one is maybe the most common that I see online, actually. People who move to Japan because they have all these problems back home, whether it be anything from debt to not having a job, to not having friends, to being depressed, to just any problem, basically. They want to move to Japan to solve these problems. It won't. It might help you with some, but it kind of depends on the problem. And in a lot of cases, people just kind of spiral further into depression after moving here. Because it looks fun, but you know, the reality is you're moving to a new country alone, probably. You don't have any friends. You have to start a whole new work culture, environment, new job. Apartments are different. Everything's different. It's a lot. It's a foreign language. It's not very easy. So if you think moving to Japan can help you with your problems, maybe it can, but I encourage you to think deeply about what you expect out of Japan, because this is not some magical Pikachu land, unfortunately. Similarly, next, people who have significant mental health problems or even just straight up health problems. Japan is not super great with mental health things, guys. It's not. And also a lot of medications may be banned here that you're taking back in your home country. For example, a lot of ADHD meds, depression medication, etc. Basically, this is just, I don't recommend moving here if you have a significant like mental health problem. Unless maybe you have a lot of money, I don't know. But most things are not gonna be covered by insurance here. You're gonna have to pay for it, and it's pretty hard to find like an English speaking doctors for this kind of thing. It's not impossible, but depends where you're living, etc. And even health problems, I'm saying, because Japan does have a pretty good health system, especially coming from America. We have insurance in Japan, that's cool, but it depends on your specific, you know, issue. So I really hope you research in depth what Japan can do. Next, people who are not okay with being alone. So Japan's kind of interesting because it's like a communal group society. What's the word? You know. But at the same time, people here often do things alone a lot of the time. It's very friendly society. If you are an introvert, if you want to do things alone, great. Japan is great for you. But if you're like not okay with being alone, doing a lot of things, it's gonna be hard. And this isn't even just a Japan thing. It's like a moving to a foreign country thing that people don't realize, because I already mentioned it, but you're probably moving here alone. You're probably moving here without, you know, a friend circle, no family, no support network, you know? And that can be a lot harder than you think. Cause yeah, you're probably gonna go to work every day. You're gonna come home to your box and you're gonna be here alone. I'm fine with it. That's, everyone's different. Next, I don't know if I should say this. Don't cancel me again, okay. LBH, loser back home. So this is similar to things I've said before, but basically if you are a loser back home, this is just an internet phrase. Well, a lot of people like this move to Japan and they kind of expect to immediately be cool and attractive and I don't know, you know, all these things, basically just because they're foreign. I would not hedge your bets on that. That's all I'll say about that one, actually. And then finally, people who want money. So Japanese salaries are not great from a Western American perspective. It totally depends on what country you're coming from on this one. For some people, Japanese salaries are very good. So, but for me, if I went back to America, I could easily be making double my salary, at least, I think. So yeah, you have to deal with that. The average income here is like, I don't know, if you put it into USD, it's probably in the 30,000s, I guess. It's not high. So you may come here as a tourist and think everything's so cheap. Even rent, if you look it up, it'll look so cheap in Tokyo. But if you're making a local salary, it's not really that cheap. Okay, yeah, that's all for this video. I'm sorry. I don't want to be mean. I actually think a lot of people would have a lot of fun in Japan, and I do recommend it if you're willing to deal with basically everything I just said. It kind of just depends on what kind of person you are, if you're flexible, if you're willing to kind of go through the trenches, especially when you first move here and you don't have that many friends. It's hard, okay? But it does get better. That's why I'm here 6 years later. Yeah, let me know what else I missed down below in the comments, or if you have any questions. I don't know, maybe I should make a more positive spin on this video too. I mean, I made similar ones, but I don't know. I swear I'm usually more positive. If I say it this many times, it sounds like I'm lying, okay? So thank you for watching. Please like the video if you learned anything new. Subscribe to my channel for more content about life in Japan, traveling in Japan, etc. And I'll see you guys back here again soon. Bye!